Well, welcome back to the second game here tonight. Of course, we've had 4 of them today here on PrepSpin, 4 quarterfinal games. This is the last one. It's a battle of Louisville and Lexington. Lexington, Henry Clay, and Louisville, Trinity. Gary Ball will coach lead the fours. William Warfield and Emma Eiler back again as both teams head to their benches. We'll give you the starting lineups. And coaches, we said during that last game that was won by Lex Cath, 56-51 over that good Holy Cross team, this should be an outstanding, very athletic high school basketball game between Henry Clay and Trinity.
I mean, do you like basketball? I mean, this is the matchups you want, the talent that you want. Sorry about that there. But I think anybody that loves the game of basketball should tune in and pay attention to this game. You got great coaches, great talent. It's going to be an exciting game.
And the Henry Clay Blue Devils come in coached by Daniel Brown. Does a great job there. They're led by their sensational senior player, Isaiah Tisdale, one of the leading players in the state. Averages 18 points a game. There isn't much he can do. And Coach, I don't think there's any question about it. If Isaiah Tisdale was about 3 inches taller, he'd be recruited by everybody.
Yeah, he has all the skills that you want. Like you said, maybe a little bit more size, but basketball savvy, ability to shoot the basketball and create shots for his teammates. He's a great player.
Yeah, let's look at the starting lineups. Greg Martin's getting ready to give the starting lineups. Looks like Trinity will be the home team. They're in their white with the green tonight, and looks like the Blue Devils will be in the blue with the gold trim tonight. And this is the final game of the quarterfinals. And Coach, how about the matchups tomorrow night? Bryan Station will take on Dunbar in the first semifinal game. And then, of course, here, Lexington Catholic will take on the winner here between Henry Clay and Trinity.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow night's a great slate of games. You got the winner's bracket guys coming out of there. Bryan Station, you're going to see Dunn and Davis. Just going to be a great guard matchup. And that's the most exciting part is being able to come to these tournaments and see these guards match up and play.
The starting lineups will be announced here by Greg Martin, as we said. And the starters for Henry Clay, it will be Isaiah Tisdale. Leander Ridgway will start at a forward. It'll be Jordan Jones, a 6'4 senior, will start for the Blue Devils. And Jaquez Simpson, a senior guard, will get the start for Henry Clay, and Jordan Houston, the 6'5 senior. I think Jordan Houston, who averages nearly a double-double, will be a big equalizer tonight for Henry Clay.
Yeah, he's going to have to be. I know Henry Clay's a great defensive team. They're going to be crashing the boards on offense. He's going to have to set the tone early with defensive rebounding and just his presence in the paint.
And the starting lineup for Trinity and Mike Zabel, Jacob King, a 5'9 junior. He averages 17 points a game. David Burton, he's a muscular 6'2 junior, averaging 8.7 rebounds. And Gabe Schmidt, a 6'1 senior, he averages nearly 14 points a game. And the other starter will be L.J. Harris, a 6'2 junior. And the final starter, Lucas Berkman, a 6' junior, averaging 11 points a game. So a lot of balance there. That's the thing you notice about Trinity. And the same thing about Henry Clay as we give their averages. Tisdale at 18, Ridgway at 12, Houston at 10. And then you got Paul Price coming off the bench averaging 12 points for Henry Clay.
Yeah, that's exciting. It's always about, in games like this where the talent's almost equal, it's the guys who's going to step up and do more than they normally do. I think you can take your averages and throw them out the window right now because both of these teams are going to step up, and it's going to be these role players, so-called role players, that are coming to this game ready to show how good they are, and they're going to be able to step up. Both teams are super talented. This is an exciting game.
And let's see who jumps it up, and it will be the big guy for Henry Clay, Jordan Houston, 6'6 senior. He'll jump it up against the athletic one, L.J. Harris, 6'2.5 junior for Trinity. As we said, Coach, Trinity in the white with the green, and Henry Clay Blue Devils in the blue with the gold. Quite fitting, really. Waiting for the officials to get us underway here at the Buter Gymnasium. Bryan Station, Dunbar, and Lexington Catholic already winners tonight in the quarterfinal action here of the Traditional Bank Classic. Harris going up against Houston. Tip is controlled by Henry Clay. That's Leander Ridgway. He'll work it down on Jacob King. Gives it up in the corner to Tisdale. Tisdale's defensive assignment is Berkman. Down low to Houston. Posting up. Nice move by Jordan Houston. Lays it up and in.
Both teams open up. Tight man-to-man here.
Burton's going to hand it off to Berkman. Down low, they swing it to Harris. Harris back out top. Schmidt, three-pointer in and out. Rebounded by Clay, and coming out of there with it, Tisdale. He's silky smooth. Finds Houston down the floor. Ball stripped away by King. Great job there by King, Coach.
Yeah, great strip.
Other way, Henry Clay. Foul called on the attempt there by Jones. Two to nothing. Henry Clay, the basketball, they're on top. They give it over to Leander Ridgway. Ridgway, looks like Trinity's in a matchup now. They back in that man-to-man. Give it up over to Tisdale. Out top, Simpson, and he knocks down a three. Jaquez Simpson makes it 5-0 Blue Devils. Across the line is Jacob King. Trinity has not lost to a Kentucky opponent. They're only lost to Brentwood Academy in the finals of the King of the Bluegrass out of Tennessee. Berkman. Nice move, and boy, power move there by Burton. David laid it up and in. 5-2 on the Burton lay-in. The other way, Tisdale. Hands it back to Jones. Lob down low to Houston. Houston powers it up and draws the foul there on David Burton.
I'm going to help you out. He is going to be a problem for anybody trying to match up with him inside. First possession of the game, they went right to him. He went up strong, and that possession he goes up and gets fouled. So he's going to definitely be a problem. And,
you know, not only is Houston going to be a problem, but Houston is a 75% free throw shooter. So he's a good free throw shooter.
And that's going to be a big issue. If you think you're going to foul a post guy that's not able to make free throws, he's going to step to the line and knock them in.
Jordan Houston got the first one, 6-2. Henry Clay on top, and he rattles the second one in. Shows a nice touch board, big fella. 7-2, Clay on top of Trinity here. Gary Ball with Coach Lee DeForest, William Warfield, and also Emma Eiler. With the basketball, Schmidt. Schmidt got an open lane, and he lays it up and in. Well, Gabe Schmidt, that parted like the Red Sea.
Yeah, that was a nice move. He was coming off the ball screen, and the players, I guess they thought they were going to switch and got hung up. He came off the ball screen and then came back off, so sort of like reversed the ball screen.
Tisdale getting a pick to the basket, finger roll, and what a nice, tough shot by Tisdale. Man, that was tough.
Yeah, you can't guard that. Left-handed, nice move.
Berkman deep on the right side for Trinity, 9-4. Bounce pass down low to Harris. Harris posting up, reversing it, lays it up in a nice reverse by L.J. Harris. 9-6. Henry Clay lead in leather. Give it up now to Jaquez Simpson. Back out top, Tisdale spinning. Tisdale kicks it over to Ridgway. Lines up the three, off the iron, no, and rebounded by Burton. Burton pushing the issue. Losing that shoulder as he worked there on Jones. Foul's going to be called. I think it's going to go on J.J.
Yeah, he's a strong guard, and I know Coach Brown would tell you got to stop the ball a little bit earlier than that. You can't let him get ahead of steam, or he's going to be a handful to try to stop.
And Jones goes out after he picked up that foul. And Justin Mitchell, the 6'3 sophomore, checks in for Daniel Brown. 9-6, Clay leads. Trinity. Trinity has the basketball in white. That's Harris with it, who just hit the last basket. Throws that one off glass. No. Harris gets his own miss. Powers it up. No, rebounded by Houston. Houston said that's enough. Houston hands it now to Isaiah Tisdale, the senior, one of the best players in the Commonwealth. Tisdale lines up the three, knocks it down right on cue. I'm bragging on him, and he might have heard me down there. I'm so close to him. And he said, I'm going to show you what I got from perimeter-wise here, Mr. Ball. 12-6, Tisdale. Here's to the basket. King, it rolls out. Foul called, or did they call a charge? They called a charge there on Jacob King, and he can't believe it.
Yeah, that was a great slide-in position there by Henry Clay, and a great three, as you mentioned, on this end. They're sort of sagging off of him, and he just stepped right up and recognized the coverage and knocked it in. So great shot. Paul
Price in, Jaquez Simpson out, who knocked down the three, and Price, the senior, he averages 12 points off the bench, Coach. We talked about that. 12-6, good start for Henry Clay here. Still 4:48 to go in the first period. With the ball, Tisdale stops, elbow, about a 15-footer, bullseye. Boy, Tisdale showing the complete repertoire.
He's going to be hard to guard. If he's making threes, getting to the rim, and hitting the pull-up jumper, I'm not sure what you can do.
Makes it 14-6. I guess they were questioning if that was a three. Kick it in the corner. Here's King's three, and he knocks it down. Oh, excuse me, that is Berkman. Lucas Berkman running the floor. Houston kicks it over to Price. He lets it rip, and he knocks it down. Paul Price makes it 17-9. Well, these are two outstanding high school basketball teams.
You know, and you make one mistake as he uses the ball screen again.
King.
That was a reject of the ball screen, the same problem they had before. But both teams, if you make one mistake, they make you pay.
Price looking down to Houston, gives it to Tisdale, whistle, and we're going to have a foul called, and the official's going to clean it up a little bit. See who they called that on. That's 2 on Harris now, who have to go out of the ball game. And
yeah, that's a tough call. You had both guys fighting for position there.
Christian Terry, a 6'6 senior, checked in for Trinity, and also coming in Brendan King, the junior. So King, you got 2 Kings in there. You got Jacob and Brendan. 17-11. Tisdale, contact, throws it up, draws the foul, and that's going to be a tough matchup for Mr. King, I think.
Yeah, that is, and Coach Brown recognized that immediately, went to a 1-4 flat set and just isolated Tisdale.
That's already, what, Coach, 5 team fouls against Trinity, 1 against Clay.
Oh, yeah.
Down low to Houston. Houston fakes up and under. It rolls off, though. Rebounded there by Trinity's Burton. Lead it out to Jacob King, trying to go underneath, knocked away by Jordan Houston. 3:55. Daniel Brown up barking at his ball club. Mike Zabo's got the vest on tonight. He had the vest on last night. I think their whole coaching staff has those Trinity vests.
I think so.
17-11, and a whistle, and foul's going to be called on a grab, and it's going to go on Price. Second team foul, first on Price. 3:55 in the first period. Left side is Terry, and he lets it rip, and he knocks it down. Terry makes it 17-14. Christian comes in. He's instant offense. 3:43. Tisdale over to Leander Ridgway. Gets a pick from Mitchell. Ridgway behind the back. Ridgway to the basket. Floater rolls off there. Rebounded by Jordan Houston. Houston powers it back to Ridgway. Lays it up and in. What a great pass by the big fella Houston. 19-14, Coach. That was I love to see the big guys that can pass, you know?
Yeah, he makes everybody better. He rebounds the ball. He hustles. That pass, I don't know how you teach that. In traffic with a great underhand. It was like an underhand scoop and a great finish.
19-14, and a foul's called. It will send Terry to the line. Terry came in, and, you know, I think for 6'6", Henry Clay wasn't sure if the big fella could knock down the three, but immediately comes in, knocks in that three, makes a free throw. He's got 4 points, and he becomes the Trinity leading scorer. Right now, I'm going to check my sheet here, Coach. Tisdale has 7 to lead everybody. Jordan Houston has 4, but that's not where Jordan Houston is making a big impact.
Yeah, he's on the board in his energy, and he made the same move twice down here. Didn't finish it the second time, but that up and under sort of reminds you of an old Kevin McHale move there. You just up and under to the middle and finish it off the glass.
Terry made both of them. It's 19-16. Henry Clay's lead cut to 3. They have the basketball. Blue Devils in the blue, Trinity in the white. Gary Ball will coach lead to force. Down low with it. There's Mitchell. Off glass won't go. And there's Houston battling again. Picked up by Ridgway. He hangs and banks it out. Tapped up. And it rolls off. And Trinity comes out of there with it. That's
what a battle.
Gabe Schmidt. Schmidt hands it to his teammate there. Just checking in there for Trinity is a young man that's not even on our depth chart. I mean, I go 10 deep, so we'll have to find out 13. He's way down on the Trinity depth chart. King hands it back. I have to go to my roster here, Coach. And there's King off glass, missed it, rebounded by Houston. Paul Price for Clay. Gives it back now. There is a shot knocked down, and that's Tisdale with another 3.
You better
13,
find him.
David Johnson. So, I'm serious, Coach. I'm talking real deep on that Trinity roster when they go to David Johnson. There's Terry way out there, and he knocks down another 3. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, that gives Trinity an odd dimension. They're in a 2-3 zone now, not trying to man up, but you better find Tisdale. He's in a rhythm.
Ball knocked away and stolen. Here comes Trinity with it, 22-19. High-scoring first quarter of action for both ball clubs. King gives it over to his brother Jacob. Jacob thought about it, gives it back to Brendan King. King dumps it to Terry. Out front it goes to Gabe Schmidt. He lets it launch, and that's in and out. Houston battling there with Terry. It picked up, and Price comes out there with it for Henry. He's in double team, and Price strong move to the basket. Won't go, and rebounded. Price thought he was fouled, but rebounded there by Johnson. Minute 22 in the first period. And, Coach, racehorse basketball here at the Buter
This is
Gymnasium.
exciting. This is what you want to see. This is what you expect from two excellent teams.
Terry's three, no good off the mark, and rebounded by Tisdale.
Better find Tisdale.
Tisdale already with 10 points here in the quarter. 22-19. Tisdale looks up at the clock. 56 seconds to go. How good would they have been last year if Jeremiah Tisdale had not gotten injured? Talking about Henry Clay.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Mitchell.
Nice play.
Price in the corner, three-pointer, bullseye.
Nice play.
25-19, splish splash. Both teams, Coach, are knocking down threes. With the ball out front with it is King. King to the left hand, and it rolls in there for Brendan King. 25-21. Henry Clay. The winner gets Lexington Catholic tomorrow night in the second semifinal game. Right now, 3 Lexington teams are in the semis. Bryan Station, Dunbar, and Lexington Catholic. Kind of flexing their basketball muscles in Lexington this year, aren't they?
Yeah, all good teams will be battling each other all year long. The 11th region, always a tough region, and Lexington teams representing that.
Tisdale throws it up and draws the foul, and Isaiah, a 6'1 senior, and he's very athletic, but he's 6'1". He does everything well. He shoots the three. He shoots free throws at an 80% clip. Like I said, Coach, if he was 6'4", 6'5", they'd all be recruiting him.
Yeah, and you've seen already his repertoire this first quarter. He went to the basket, made a left-hand layup. He hit a pull-up jump shot, and he's hit a couple threes. So I really don't know how you guard him. You just have to do your best to stay in front of him, make it tough, because you are not going to stop him from scoring.
And checking into the game, Houston goes out, and we get, I believe it's Walt Finch comes in. Yeah, Finch comes in. These teams going deep into their rosters tonight, very deep. Boy, Tisdale, normally an excellent free throw shooter, missed them both. And there's going to be a three-quarter court shot. Won't go there for Trinity, as it was Berkman who launched it. Well, we head to the second quarter. What a first quarter. Henry Clay 25, Trinity 21, and we'll return here to the Buter Gymnasium on the campus of Lexington Catholic. 25-21, Henry Clay leading Trinity. I know it. Unbelievable. I got to find these guys are playing kids that didn't even play in the first game. What's up? Point one.
I am Lee, and I'm happy with my smile.
And I'm Other Lee, and I ain't happy with my smile.
I went to White, Greer, and Maggard, and they fixed my smile for me.
And I never smile, and that's why I'm having some alone time here at dinner.
I love that I can go to White, Greer, and Maggard with all my questions.
And I love that I don't have to brush my teeth at night.
Don't be like this, me. Go to White, Greer, and Maggard for a picture-perfect smile.
(25-21), Henry Clay on top, and what a first quarter by Isaiah Tisdale. 10 points in that first quarter for the sensational senior for Henry Clay, leading everybody. And missed 2 free throws, Coach, or he'd have 12.
Yeah, I don't expect him to miss many free throws.
Johnson's still in there, deep on that depth chart. Now they got Damon McLean in there. Here's a shot, won't go out front by Berkman. Rebounded, though, and there's Schmidt turning around, in and out by Schmidt. Pulled down and rebounded there. By the way, just checking in there was Justin Mitchell. Chris Mitchell was in there for a moment. To the basket, Ridgeway, no, and rebounded by Burton. Burton clears it out to McLean. Back to Burton, launches the three, off the iron, and Henry Clay rebounds as two Blue Devils ran into each other. It's Leander Ridgeway with the ball. Working on Schmidt, stops from 17, bullseye. You know, Ridgeway kind of gets lost in the shuffle here with great players like Jordan Houston and Isaiah Tisdale, but Leander Ridgeway averages 12 points on the season.
Yeah, it was a nice shot, nice pull-up. if you're Coach Brown, you wouldn't mind if he would have pulled up about a half a second early and it had been a three-pointer, but still, great move, great shot.
Burton, and that rolls off there, rebounded by Leander Ridgway. Ridgway's like a mini Tayshaun Prince. Ridgway to the basket, won't go, tapped around, right in the hands of Finch. Finch turns, that rolls off. He doesn't miss much. He's shooting 70% from the field, so Finch normally knocks those down. 27-21, 6:36 to go in the first half. Henry Clay on top of Trinity. The winner gets Lexington Catholic in the semifinals tomorrow night. First semifinal game will be Lexington Bryan Station and Lexington Dunbar. Schmidt working on Finch. Down the lane. Hangs, throws it up. No, rebounded by Finch. Good defense by Walt Finch. Ridgway bounces now to Mitchell. Back in the middle to Finch. And he is going to be tied up on a good defensive play by Gabe Schmidt. Alternate possession favors Clay, though. 6-10, coach. 27-21. Henry Clay on top of Trinity.
Hey, listen, both teams are battling. We talked about how they're going into their bench. It's because of the effort both of these teams are playing with. You can't sustain the kind of max effort these teams are playing with for very long.
I agree. That's a very good point. Price has come off the bench and given them 2 3-pointers. They get it to Tisdale. Fakes the three. Goes in on the right elbow. He hangs and hooks it short. There's Mitchell battling. Houston, Jordan, and he powers it up with the left hand. No. Ball tapped around and finally picked up by King. He's double teamed, but gets out of it to Johnson. Johnson comes over to Schmidt. They go in the corner, and here's a 3-pointer off the mark for King. Rebounded by Henry Clay, and that was Mitchell, Crizell Mitchell. Mitchell has it right side. Hands it to Leander Ridgway. Ridgway into the paint. 5:38 in the first half here at the Traditional Bank Holiday Classic. Good crowd in here. It's been great quarterfinal action. There's a foul that's going to be called on Berkman. Earlier today, Bryan Station withstood Cordia in a tight one. William Moorfield gave you all the call of that one. And then right after that, Dunbar knocked off a good team. They won. And then tonight, Lexington Catholic beat a good Holy Cross team.
It's been a great day of basketball. Anticipate another great day tomorrow. This game, both teams have been fighting. It was such a high-scoring first quarter. Both teams have settled in now to their defensive strategy, and they've sort of started locking in and made it so difficult for either team to score. They're so athletic inside. Both teams are really battling inside. It's fun to see.
Free throw rolls in there for Tisdale. He now has 11 points. He averages 18 points and 8 rebounds. 28-21. Henry Clay by 7, leading Louisville Trinity. Rolls it in there. Nice soft touch by Tisdale. Remember, he missed a couple up there earlier, and he knocked those 2 down. He's got a dozen points now.
Yeah, he's got a soft touch. He's a good free throw shooter. Expect him to get to the line a few more times tonight.
Lucas Berkman to the basket, hangs and missed the half hook shot. Coming out of there with it, Mitchell. Mitchell wanting to pick up the pace. Strong move, the basket hanging. Won't go, though. Had it gone, it would have been an and one for Crizell Mitchell. He'll go to the line, though. And both teams, coaches, you can see I go about 2, 6, 8. I go about 11, 12 deep on my rosters, and both teams have already gone beyond my depth chart on my. A couple of kids that have played tonight did not play the other night for either one of these teams.
Yeah, and they're doing that because, as we've noted, the tremendous effort right now it's taken to compete and run. You saw that rebound. These guys are firing down here, sprinting, attacking the basket as hard as they can. And if you're on Trinity's end, you're hoping that you pick up the ball a little bit earlier and try to slow it down. You not necessarily have to stop it, but you have to slow it, and you see uncharacteristic air ball there. I think, again, it has to do with fatigue, effort factor. It's going to be a challenge for both teams to push through that.
29-21 as Mitchell misses both free throws, and that's Jacob King, who has 1 field goal, averages 17 points. Dump it back down low, and Burton skips it over. Here's a 3-pointer out of the left side. Won't go there for Trinity, but Jacob King gets it back. Down low, they bounce it to David Burton. Burton back over to Gabe Schmidt. Schmidt into the lane, hanging and scoring. Nice, tough shot in traffic by Gabe Schmidt, who averages 13. He's got 4. 29-23. Here's Price deep out of the right side. Bullseye. He's hit 3 threes, coach, off the bench for Daniel Brown. He hasn't missed. 3 for 3 from 3.
You better find him. That's all I know. He's got a great rhythm going from 3, and he's looking to shoot if he has an inch of daylight.
32-23. Henry Clay by 9. 4:20 to go in the first half. Gary Paul, Coach Lee DeForest. Coach, thanks for all your great work with us here on the broadcast. That three-pointer won't go for King. Rebounded by Houston.
Appreciate it. Just an honor to be here working with you guys. Love to watch basketball and love to help out.
Big help, and that's for sure. Tisdale has it way out front by the big LC logo here at Lexington Catholic. Here is another 3 by Price, and this one is off the mark, and he finally misses one. He was 3 for 3 behind the arc prior to that one. He does average 12.5 off the bench.
Yeah, and you know Coach Brown just does such a good job over there. That was a set play. He came through the middle. They sort of set a double screen for him. Recognizing his player has the hot hand, went right to him immediately, even though he missed it. That's just a great coaching move by Coach Brown.
Daniel Brown out there talking to his shooter, Price. Mike Szabo out in front of his bench. Ball knocked away. Stolen away by Price. PP. And then stolen back by Berkman. Berkman dumps it to King, and he will lay it up and in. Daniel Brown's not going to like that little lackadaisical play. 32-25, Henry Clay by 7, 3:39 here in the first half. Coach DeForest. We'll be back here on the Night Vision and PrepSpin.
I'm not happy with my teeth. They're not straight enough.
Let me fix them for you.
No. You are not White, Greer, and Maggard.
I'm sort of like White, Greer, and Maggard. I'm local, love smiles, love to fix things.
No.
Sorta you isn't you. White, Greer, and Maggard, where a beautiful smile is just the beginning.
Back at Lexington Catholic, Gary Ball with Coach Lee DeForest and also William Warfield and Emma Eiler, a Lexington Catholic grad, our videographer. 32-25. Henry Clay by 7. Coach, what have they done to maintain the 7-point lead, speaking of the Blue Devils?
Well, one part, I think more than anything, Isaiah Tisdale, just being the player that he is, as you see, they call it offensive? Okay. Well, he's just been able to dictate tempo, get to the basket, and then you have Houston playing inside strong as well as Price knocking shots down. Trinity's defense is excellent, excellent man defense, but Henry Clay, they're not slackers either. Look at how hard they play. They're all in a stance. They're active, caused the turnover there.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a Harris, wasn't expecting a pass, and you're right, Price gives it over to Tisdale. Tisdale, floater, and they're going to call a charge on him as he kicked it off, and that might be Isaiah's third foul. He'll have to go to the bench. Yeah, that's 3. That's 3 on Tisdale. He'll head to the bench now. He heads right over there and checking in for him, Jordan Jones. So Tisdale on the bench. That's a critical third foul for Henry Clay.
And, I mean, I've seen a lot of games, and I know you have too. How many times have you seen the best player pick up back-to-back offensive fouls?
Within about 20 seconds of each other.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Jacob King, who has 4 points, works it across for the Shamrocks. They are trailing 32-25 to this talented Henry Clay team. King kicks it in the corner of Schmidt. Here's Burton at about an 8-footer. Won't go. Rebounded. Henry Clay, Leander Ridgway picks it up with 2:48 to go here in the first half. Henry Clay lead in leather.
I think they go right inside to Houston here.
Ridgway lobs down to Houston, and he missed it point blank, but he does draw the foul. Coach, good call there. You knew exactly where they were going with that basketball.
Well, you had Tisdale out and, sort of struggling, not really struggling to score, but they hadn't scored in a minute. And then you had him making such strong moves early. They sort of felt like, those last 2 calls sort of went against Henry Clay. So
Jordan's got a nice touch, as we've already referenced. That is 3 for 3 at the line for Jordan Houston, who's a big force for Henry Clay and has been playing there since his sophomore season. Kind of burst onto the scene sophomore year at Henry Clay. And, of course, Tisdale's been a 3-year starter for the Blue Devils. Isaiah, his older brother Jeremiah, tore his ACL before the season last year. Henry Clay would have been a legitimate state champion contender. 33-25, misses the second one, and here comes Jacob King for Trinity. Hands it over to Johnson. He hands it back to Brendan King, kicks it back, and faking the shot. Johnson moves in a little bit closer and knocked it down. First basket for Damon Johnson.
Nice floater, avoided the charge. That's a tough shot.
33-27. Henry Clay's lead cut to 6 with 2:08 to go here. It goes in the corner there to Justin Mitchell. Back to Leander Ridgway. They're trying to get out of this half because their superstar, Isaiah Tisdale, with 12 points, has picked up 3 fouls and is on the bench. Price, who's giving them 3 big threes off that bench. To the basket, blocked, and a foul's going to be called there on Gabe Schmidt. He didn't like the call.
Well, that was nice call there again. Coach Brown sort of orchestrating the matchups that he wants. Had Price there isolated against a matchup he liked. He took it to the basket, got the step. Whether or not that was a challenge, I mean, might have been a foul, but he got the call there.
They called that on Brendan King, his 3rd. Free throw short there for Price, who has 9 points. King will go out, and Trinity will bring into the ball game another player that's going deep into our roster here, and that's going to be Caleb Thomas, number 14. Thomas gives it up over to Schmidt. Schmidt to the basket and can't get it to roll. Had that gone, that would have counted. He's fouled and will go to the line. Gabe Schmidt, the senior for Trinity.
That was a nice hesitation, nice change of direction. All he did was just a quick crossover there, double crossover, got his defender to stop, and then he kept going. That's just a heady move.
And Schmidt, 83% at the line. Averages 13 points. He's got 5 in this one, looking for a 6-point. He's a 6'1" senior, and as I said, shoots 83% at the charity stripe. Missed that one. We had to jinx him. 34-28. Ridgway will work it across the silky smooth southpaw just like Tisdale. Ridgway out to Price, a long 3, in and out. And battling for it, Mitchell, as Houston hits the floor hard, and they lead it out to King. He loses the ball on the floor, diving on it. Let's see what the officials call here, and they're going to call a jump ball.
What an unbelievable effort on both teams. It's crazy. Look, it started under the basket here and went all the way across half court on the other end of the floor, just a scrum, a battle for the basketball. Just shows you the heart and competitive spirit of both of these teams.
Trinity, of course, they won the state championship with Nathan Dudonay, who played in Rupp Arena earlier this year, I believe, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Out of Boston University. He was Mr. Basketball. I believe that was 12 when they won that, correct?
Yes, sir.
2012. King to the back. He walked, and the official's right there.
Yeah,
and he also might have hurt his knee a little bit as he twisted his knee or turned an ankle or something as he gets up.
Yeah, those are scary. That was like he tried to stop. A lot of players will jump stop. He came to what's called a stride stop and tried to just stop immediately, right, basically all the weight on his left knee. Hopefully he's okay.
Looks like they might get McLean in for him. Minute 2. And matter of fact, we're going to get in. The officials with that injury are going to get King out and McLean in. Minute 2 here in the first half, and well, we've enjoyed covering this traditional bank classic here at Lexington Catholic. We're to the semifinals. First semifinal tomorrow night will be Dunbar and Bryan Station. Lexington Catholic, who won over a good Holy Cross team 56-51. They'll take on the winner here in the second semifinal game tomorrow night. We'll have both those games. Here to the basket, and a nice move and a finish there by Justin Mitchell.
What a jump stop. He went about 8 feet with one dribble. That was an unbelievable move.
36-28. What a great move by Mitchell. As that gives the lead back to 8. Remember, Tisdale went to the bench. What about the 3-minute mark, Coach?
Yeah, about the 3-minute. And interesting enough, they've been able to extend their lead a little bit.
Yeah.
As we mentioned before the game, that these other players, you can throw the stats out. Other players are going to step up in a game like this.
Gabe Schmidt's going to pound it down. Looks like Trinity wants the last shot here before the conversation in the halftime locker room. 36-28. Schmidt pounding it down to 12 seconds. He's got it on a yo-yo. Now switches over to the left hand. 8 seconds. Waiting for the pick. Schmidt gets it way out. Launches a long 3. Got it! Big 3 by Schmidt. Boy, that paid dividends. That cut that 8-point lead into 5. And Henry Clay 36, Trinity 31. And, Coach, How big is that three there by Gabe Schmidt?
That's huge. Think about second half. You come out, if you're Henry Clay and you make a shot, you're up 10, but now you've only got a 5-point lead. It puts just a little bit more game pressure, but look, both of these teams, Trinity and Henry Clay, they're really good teams, and it's going to be difficult for either team in the middle of the game to really push out to a 15, 20-point lead. I mean, one team's going to make a run, the other team's going to respond. It's going to be back and forth up until the last minute.
36-31 is your halftime score. Henry Clay on top of Louisville Trinity here tonight, trying to get the punch the last ticket to the semifinals tomorrow night. With Coach Lee DeForest, Gary Ball, William Warfield, the king of string, over here producing as always and covering all these games here at the Traditional Bank Classic. We'll come back with more here at halftime. 36-31, Henry Clay on top of Trinity.
I am Lee, and I'm happy with my smile.
And I'm other Lee, and I ain't happy with my smile.
I went to White, Greer, and Maggard, and they fixed my smile for me.
And I never smile, and that's why I'm having some alone time here at dinner.
I love that I can go to White, Greer, and Maggard with all my questions.
And I love that I don't have to brush my teeth at night.
Don't be like this, me. Go to White, Greer, and Maggard for a picture-perfect smile.
Choosing a college is about setting a course, a path that leads to your destination. At EKU, the adventure is what lies in between. Eastern Kentucky University. Great journeys begin here.
This is Oscar Combs. The next time you get hungry, remember this commercial. Then grab your keys and come to Rafferty's. Now, where did you put those keys? Rafferty's, located in Lexington, Louisville, Elizabethtown, Florence, Paducah, and Bowling Green.
I'm not happy with my teeth. They're not straight enough.
Let me fix them for you.
No. You are not White, Greer, and Maggard.
I'm sort of like White, Greer, and Maggard. I'm local, love smiles, love to fix things.
No.
Sorta you isn't you. White, Greer, and Maggard, where a beautiful smile is just the beginning.
Define the fabric of a team. It's not selfish. It's not boastful. It's about many, sewn together to reach one common goal. But in order to win, you must learn to work together.
Hey, welcome back. We got a special viewer out there, Michael Freebird. Thanks for tuning in tonight, Mr. Freebird. Gary Ball, Coach Lee DeForest. And, Coach, we got the first half numbers, and I think you brought up an excellent point. Obviously, Henry Clay being the more aggressive basketball team, 6 of 12 at the free throw line. They got to start knocking down some throws, but they've been up there 12 times.
Yeah, they've been up there as a result. They're leading in the team rebounds here. They've got 19 rebounds to Trinity's 13, and 5 of those are offensive. So that just tells you, I mean, in a game where both teams are aggressive and playing hard, Henry Clay's coming out right now in the rebounding battle. And I know Coach Brown, that's something that he talks about every day. He wants to win the rebounding battle, and so far they've done that in the first half.
I thought Christian Terry came in and gave Trinity a big lift off the bench, knocking down those 2 threes. Matter of fact, he hit 2 of the 4 they hit out of 12. You look at Henry Clay, you mentioned rebounding and free throw. How about 6 of 9 behind the arc there? Of course, Tisdale got it started with that big 3 out of the right side.
He did, and if he hadn't gotten foul trouble, might have had a different end there. They might have been able to push out the lead, but it was good. I mean, you know, Henry Clay had other players step up as soon as he was out of the game to make big plays for him, and that's what championship teams do, and I think both of these teams are of that caliber, and they'll be tough to come out of their region, but I think both of them will be tough to put out in February.
36-31 here at halftime. The lead is for Henry Clay. Looking at the shooting, 12 of 26 for the Blue Devils. That is 46%. As we said, 67% behind the three-point line on looking at the shooting from there. They've actually shot three-pointers better than they've shot regular field goals. They just 6 of 17 for 2-point field goals, 6 of 9 from 3. Total of 36 points. He had 19 rebounds, as Coach DeForest said, the 13 for Trinity. Trinity shot 12 of 28 for just 42% in that first half from the field. They were 4 of 12, 33% from the three-point line. Leading individual in the game, of course, is Isaiah Tisdale. He has 12 points, did pick up his 3rd foul there late in the first half, Coach.
And did you notice the only other double-digit scorer is Paul Price, who came off the bench to knock in those 3 threes and then that free throw. He's the only other double-digit scorer right now in the entire game, both for Henry Clay.
And both teams have played almost as many guys as they have dressed in this gym here tonight. As I said, I go usually on my depth charts. I do depth charts for both teams because I want to know, study them. I go about 11, 12 deep. I've had to add a couple players to both teams. I've had to add Johnson and also number 14 for Trinity. And as I look down here, that is Thomas. I've had to add them to their roster because they didn't play in the first match as they played here at the Traditional Bank Classic.
Well, this is the half where the coaches, this is why they're paid. I would be shocked if they go that deep into the bench here in the second half. Both teams are going to give you their best shot. Both teams are ready to go, and fatigue will not be a factor.
And it looks like Jacob King is okay. Kind of, as you said, Coach, hurt that, turned his knee or something there in that first half, but number 1 is back in there starting. We'll give you the lineups. Tisdale's back in there. Goes to Leandra Ridgeway. Jordan Houston gets the ball out top. He swings it around to Jones. Jones looking for cutters, goes to Tisdale. Down low to Houston. Houston's got an open lane, powers it right side. Ridgeway hangs and scores.
Houston is a problem in there.
Yeah.
They're going to have a trouble stopping him. Come right out, go straight to him.
Don't you like saying that? Houston, we have a problem. 38-31. Jordan Houston's a man among boys. Down low they kick it. Back out top it goes to Burton. Burton hands it now to Jacob King. King out top for Trinity. They're in the white, Henry Clay in the blue. King pounds it down now, goes over the right side to Burton, launches it, and rattles it in from 3. Big 3 by David Burton.
That's a nice play by King to find him on that pass.
38-34, timeout, and Coach Brown wants a quick timeout, a 30-second timeout. Coach, what's he looking for here? Why the quick timeout?
Well, I'm sure that, his team is a defensive team. There's no possible way you give up an open three-point shooter a shot 1 minute into the game, and it wasn't like there was any action to create that shot. That's one of the most frustrating things, I think. They came out and just set a double high ball screen, but then somehow through lack of communication, he was able to find an open shot. And they got to do a better job of communicating, get a hand up on three-point shooters. He doesn't want that to be a trend here in the second half,
yeah,
so he's addressing it early.
That's a good timeout. And, in that first game tonight, I thought Brandon Salzman called an excellent timeout in that game for Catholic to kind of slow down the Holy Cross a little bit as Catholic got the win 56-51. Bryan Station, Dunbar, let's set the times for you. I think I gave the wrong times earlier. 7:30 and 9 o'clock are the semifinals tomorrow. 7:30, Station will take on Dunbar. Dunbar. 9 o'clock Catholic will take on the winner here. Right now it's 38-34. What a tight one here tonight, Coach.
Yeah, they're going to go right back inside, I think, to Houston. Why not? He's been a problem in there all night.
Houston, little hook shot, rolls out. Houston battling for it. Coming out there with it, though, was Burton. King for Trinity. King into the lane and runs right over top of the player Houston, but they call the foul on him and count the basket, so that's a generous call.
Yeah, that's a tough look. Block charge, I don't care what level, it's the hardest call to make.
Yeah.
So whether or not he was there when he started his shooting motion, and the referee said that he was late getting there, so they're going to give him the basket and the foul. On the other end, I think Henry Clay, they're mixing up their attack. They were going to Tisdale early. They've been going inside to Houston now a couple trips. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Brown goes back to trying to get Tisdale more involved.
I totally agree. You took the words right out of my mouth. I think you're going to start seeing 0-0. Tisdale get more involved offensively. Right now they're going to bring back in, of course, Paul Price, and also they're going to bring back in Justin Mitchell, and going out will be Jones and Simpson for Henry Clay. So back up there, Jacob King, 6 points for the 5'9" junior guard who averages 17 points a game for Trinity. He's actually their leading scorer coming in.
He attacks the basket hard, and that explains a lot about why Henry Clay is trapping ball screens when he comes off. Must be a heck of a scorer.
And he's an 87% free throw shooter. And he knocks it down. He has 7. 38-37. What a good one here tonight at the Buter Center. Lexington Catholic. As Tisdale works on King, and he's going to be fouled by Jacob King.
Yeah, that's just going to be a tough matchup. I mean, and they're not doing anything that you probably haven't seen before. They're just going 1-4 low and just telling Tisdale to, to beat your man.
That's right.
Team. So
Tisdale trying to post up. King's got 2 fouls now. Don't you bet your bottom dollar. Tisdale does not know that. Houston fakes with the ball. Out it goes to Leander Ridgway. 38-37. Ridgway knocked away by Schmidt. Good defense by Schmidt. He baited him. Schmidt kicks it deep in the corner to Berkman. Berkman stops left elbow, knocks it down, and Trinity's got their first lead.
Yeah, that was a case of trying to do a little bit too much there on the other end, and Trinity took advantage and caused a turnover.
39-38 on the Berkman jumper. Ridgway to the basket. He hangs, and it rolls off, but he's fouled, and that'll be 2 shots here coming for Leander Ridgway. That's 2 on Schmidt. Schmidt and King both have 2. Harris has 2. Brendan King has 3 fouls.
I'll tell you what, Henry Clay's come out this second half, and they are attacking the first 2 minutes here. They're attacking the basket, whether it be through the dribble penetration by Tisdale or by Houston inside. They're going to the rim, to the basket, and that's one of the big reasons why they led in the first half in free throw shots. They're back on the line again.
Leander misses them both, though. Taps it out, though. Ridgway on the tap out by Tisdale. Houston posting up, and that's going to be a foul call. That's just a little bit too much contact there by Trinity's L.J. Harris. Harris pleading his case, but you're going to win that. He's talking to the officials, but as a matter of fact, Trinity's Mike Zabo, who looks very much like Seth Lockhart, a friend of ours who just married Katie Cranfield. And every time I look down, I think that's Seth down there, but that's Mike Zabo. Looks just like him. I guess there's always somebody who looks like somebody, isn't there? Somebody and somebody.
Feel like it. Let's see how they handle this ball screen.
Price for Henry Clay. Back out to Tisdale. Tisdale working down, back over to Price. A long 3, and that's short, but picked up by Ridgway. Dumps it back to Jordan Houston. He wasn't ready for the pass and loses it out of bounds. He would have an easy layup if he caught that pass. All the defenders had slept over on Ridgway.
Yeah, that was tough. Henry Clay had so many chances to score there with the 3. Then they dropped it out of bounds and missed the free throws. I'm sure they'll pick it up as the half continues.
Gabe Schmidt, left elbow, brings it back for Trinity. They lead 39-38. To the basket, left hand lays it up and in. It's a little bit different Trinity team here to start the second half, Coach. 41-38. Tisdale spinning and banks it up and in. Nice move by Tisdale. He's got 14 now.
Wow. That's a tough shot. I mean, he's just a shot maker. Trinity's not going as deep into its bench here, so he's got more of his starters in, and I anticipate Henry Clay will do the same.
41-40. Trinity on top of Henry Clay. 2 great basketball teams, both highly ranked, highly regarded. What was Trinity ranked, Coach? Were they number 1?
I know they were number 1 at one point. Not sure what they are now.
Henry Clay, top 15?
Oh, yeah. And early on, it's hard. They're just going off potential. I mean, you have two teams here, obviously evenly well matched. It's a 41-40 game.
Tisdale's three won't go, but rebounded by King. Jacob King climbs the ladder for that one. Cross for Trinity into the lane and runs into to Price. Foul's going to be called on Price.
I mean, whichever team is the more aggressive here, and both teams are fighting it right now. They're both throwing punches, and let's see who responds.
2 on Price. Remember, the superstar Isaiah Tisdale already has 3 fouls for Henry Clay. 41-40 Trinity, 4:19 to go. Third quarter here live on the night vision at PrepSpin. Gary Ball, coach lead the force, William Moorfield, and that's going to be a grab. And if that's on Tisdale, that'll be 4.
Well, let me tell you, if anybody watching this game, that play call was no accident. They isolated him on one side of the court, and just drove it at him, and,
wow.
And the referee called a hand check there, which,
that's
a
4.
tough call. I mean, he wasn't. He put his hand out, sure, but.
But you know what? I gotta say this though: if you're Isaiah Tisdale and you know you've got 3 fouls, you can't do something like that.
That's true.
Free throw, the long 3 there won't go for the big fella Terry. The other way and scooping, laying it up and in. Nice move by Justin Mitchell. Makes the lead 42-41. Henry Clay back to a 1-point lead after Trinity had the 1-point lead. And we're going to have a timeout called by Zabo and Trinity. 42-41.
Yeah, that isolation play that drew his foul, back to your point, you're correct, because a lot of coaches will tell you, you can get points back. You can't get the foul back. So if you are a little less aggressive and he drives around you, okay, we can try to get that back as a team, but we can't get fouls back. Appreciate
I'm going to
that.
get your mic up there a little closer, Coach. Folks said they really enjoy what you're saying and want to hear you a little better. So,
well, they haven't heard me long enough.
There we go. We got it up a little better now, thanks to Bridget out there for that.
What we were saying, and you made a good point, you can't reach there because, as coaches say, you can get the points back. You can't get a foul back. Once you get the foul, you can't get that back. So we need you in the game. You can't reach in. Depend on your teammates to back you up. Unfortunately, there the referee saw a foul and called it. Let's see who steps up for Henry Clay here.
Yeah, well, stepping up that time, of course, was Justin Mitchell with that nice move to the basket to give the lead back for Clay, 42-41. Two of the top teams in the state, Trinity and Henry Clay. King open from 3. Back of the rim, no. Nice rebound. Nicely done there by Mitchell. Justin down the middle of the floor. Strong move to the basket. Hangs and banks it in again. Mitchell says, okay, Coach, I'll take that responsibility.
Man, he's a load to stop. I mean, he's got some nice moves, and he's simple in his game. That jump stop off the glass, I mean, that's a tough move.
Johnson gives it up over to Berkman. Berkman for Trinity. They're 44-41. Henry Clay by 3 after Trinity had to lead there momentarily. Long 3 by Berkman. Back of the rim, no. Nice rebound by Leander Ridgeway. The mini Tayshaun Prince. Good dump right side. Houston, yes. And the basket, what they call charge. Wave it off. Goodness gracious.
That's a huge play. Great assist. They called it on the pass. You try to tell your players, if you're going to make a pass, jump stop and go up. His momentum carried him forward, and the referee saw the charge there. So what a break for Trinity, because that was a layup.
Yeah,
and
they've been getting some fortuitous calls here in the last
well, the
couple
ones
months.
that break 50-50,
it
seems
true.
like they've been getting more of the breaks.
44-41, 3:05 in the third. Trinity and Henry Clay. Henry Clay trying to make it all Lexington Final Four. I've done this tournament for a long time. That'll be the first time that's ever happened. Bryant Station backdoor. King wide open, lays it up and in. Too easy.
You can't turn your back to the basketball.
Yeah, especially on Jacob King.
Yes.
Because he's going to that basket every time.
You got to stay between ball. It's got to be ball, you, man, the entire time on defense, and it was not there.
Price, who hit those 3s early, and that's in and out, rebounded by Johnson for Trinity. Here comes King. I tell you, he has one thing in mind when he's got that basketball. And look at Coach Szabo. He is going over and giving his little guard a high five. He loves the hustle, this Jacob King kid.
Well, I tell you what, Jacob's fearless. I mean, a lot of players, I know Luke Johnson from last game would have been able to take it. Isaiah would have been able to take it there. But he created something by trying to split two players there, put his head down, and he's a good enough player to stay under control while he does it. Too many young players are out of control.
44-43. Thanks for watching tonight. Great battle here. It was a great game earlier. Here's a shot put up and in for Trinity's Berkman. Great game earlier tonight, won by Lexington Catholic over that very good Covington Holy Cross team, 56-51. So Bryan Station will play Dunbar tomorrow night at 7:30, and Lexington Catholic will take on the winner here at 9 o'clock in the Final Four of the Traditional Bank Classic. Houston back out top now. Leander Ridgway to the basket, hanging, and it won't go, but he draws the foul, and that will send Ridgway back to lineup there earlier, Coach. He missed 2 opportunities for Henry Clay.
Yeah, I think Tayshaun Prince is a good comparison for him.
Just a mini version of it.
He does a lot of different things, and in the colors they're wearing, I was thinking Sean Livingston, just another.
That's a good one, too.
Yeah, just another size that can do a lot of different things out there. But you see anytime right now with Tisdale off, anytime Henry Clay gets in trouble, they go into that box set, and they go right inside to Houston. And that play was created because Houston got the ball in the paint, and then they kicked it out and created the closeout and led to the drive and the foul. So they're going to go inside, I think, almost every possession now. 2 minutes left in the third.
So Schmidt back in, McLean back in, and Ridgway 1 of 2. Ties the game at 45, 2 minutes in the third quarter. Gabriel Schmidt, boy, he had a great finish to that first half. Didn't he, knocking down that big 3 there at the end of the buzzer, at the first half buzzer.
It's huge.
45 all.
Here's another isolation here.
They isolated, and King back out to Gabriel Schmidt. Schmidt spinning, hands it now to Burton. Minute 33 in the third, 45-45, Trinity and Henry Clay. Winner gets Lexington Catholic tomorrow night in the Final Four of the Traditional Bank Classic. Bryan Station gets Dunbar in the first one at 7:30. And Henry Clay trying to make it an all-Lexington Final Four for the first time in the history of this tournament.
This is interesting. Under a minute and a half, Trinity decided to pull it out. I guess they're going to run a set now, see what happens here.
McLean dumps it back to King. He spins, might have got away with a walk. Bounce it back to him. He kicks it in the corner. Out it goes to Schmidt, open from 3. Back of the rim, no. Ridgway battling, and Leander says, I'll take that. Down the middle, Ridgway knocked. King hustles in and fouls him from behind. Puts the ball down, and you don't ever want to show up an official like that.
Yeah, and you got to keep your head about you. It was a great hustle play, but you got to keep playing.
That's 4 on King. That's why he was so upset. He goes out and back in Jacob King. Ridgway. Remember, Isaiah Tisdale went out with that 4th foul about 4 minutes ago. Ball knocked away from Houston. He thought he was fouled, no call. Here's King into the right side. They kick it out now to the basket. Johnson, no good. Rebounded by Ridgway. Leander Ridgway, slender, like I said, a mini version of Tayshaun Prince, but a kicking ball. He's a good basketball player. Mitchell for Henry Clay.
This is one of the oldest plays in the book to hold the ball. I've heard it called different things. 3 spread. I've heard it called anything else, but it's 3 guys handling the ball in a 2-guard front here. So trying to get the last shot here, 14 seconds.
45 all, Henry Clay and Trinity. Leander Ridgway for the Blue Devils. He's working there on Schmidt. Over it goes now to Mitchell. Mitchell into the lane, left hand, rolls it in. Boy, Mitchell's been huge filling in with 6 points in that quarter for Tisdale. And as we head to the fourth quarter, long shot didn't go there for Trinity. It is Henry Clay holding on, Coach, 47-45 with Tisdale on the bench with 4 fouls. Their superstar will be back with the fourth quarter action here from the Traditional Bank Classic on Night Vision and also PrepSpin here tonight. It is 47-45, Clay on top.
I'm not happy with my teeth. They're not straight enough.
Let me fix them for you.
No. You are not White, Greer, and Maggard.
sort of like White, Greer, and Maggard. I'm local, love smiles, love to fix things.
Sorta you isn't you.
Gary Ball, Coach Lee DeForest, William Warfield, Emma Eiler, Lexington Catholic Grant, our videographer. We head to the fourth quarter, Coach. What do you expect here? 47-45. Henry Clay has the lead. Trinity has the basketball.
Well, big questions is, when is Tisdale coming back in the game? Do you want to start with them? Obviously, they're not. When do you bring them back in, and then what he can give you at the end? I know they're just trying to play close, and Mitchell's been having a great game for them offensively, so they're going to have to get some stops here on King's drives to the basket. And then on the other end, they're going to have to figure out what to do with Houston and Mitchell. That's going to be interesting as the game goes on.
As King went to the basket, Simpson fouled him his first foul. King trying to get it in play. Comes over deep to Berkman. Berkman to the basket, hanging, banking, and won't go in, but we're going to have a whistle, and that's going to be a foul on – they called that on Houston? Yep, they called that on Houston. Coach Brown is not happy with the call there.
Yeah, and you know why they it seems like they've been on the wrong end of that, the block charge calls here tonight. But sometimes that's the way it goes. You got to play through it. You got to get there faster, try to challenge them a little bit better. And Trinity's doing a good job of knocking down free throws. Like I said, this is going to be, and I think you agreed with me, this is going to be a knockdown drag out here for the last fourth quarter here.
Christian Terrien as Berkman knocks down both free throws and ties the game back up at 47 all, 7:42 to play here in the basketball game, and that's Leander Ridgway. If I'm Daniel Brown, I don't wait too much longer to bring Tisdale back into the game.
Yeah, and he's got a feel for his players, and he knows the kind of player, and you see they go right back inside to Houston, that Tisdale is, so he trusts these other guys to get the job done.
Oh, that hook shot. I thought it was going to drop for Houston, but he did get fouled. But he's got a great up and under move, doesn't he?
He does, and he went to his counter there. He usually steps middle and goes up and under. Instead, he went with the hook shot there. He's a tough matchup down low when you let him catch it down there. What's interesting? We seem so far away from the 22-24 first quarter, don't we?
We do, don't we? We really do. It's 47 all now, but only 7:12 to play. But that's because Tisdale was lighting it up. What do you have, 10 points in that first quarter?
Yeah, he came out on fire, and both these teams are good defensive teams. That was that's more of an exception, not the rule, coming out and scoring that many points against either one of these teams in the first quarter, and they all settled down. Coach mass substitutions there early, and now both teams are settling into their regular rotation.
Houston, who's a good free throw shooter, 75%, knocks it down. He's 4 for 4 in the game. He has a total now of 6 points. Does have 9 rebounds. Second free throw, got it. 49-47. Henry Clay, 7:12 to go. Haven't put the points up on the board yet. That's what everybody, now they get them up there. Officials go over to make sure the official scores. Probably they've had an issue with the clock here earlier in the tournament. They got it worked out.
Yeah, and a lot of times, people pay attention to box scores. Houston has been getting the basketball inside and drawing fouls, but he's also been kicking it out, which has created opportunities for his teammates that you don't see in the box score, and he's made a big impact in this game.
The only one on the team that has more double-doubles in Houston for Henry Clay is Isaiah Tisdale. And I think Houston's in track for a double-double tonight. Harris, way out top for Trinity. Thanks for watching tonight in high definition on PrepSpin and Night Vision. 6:52 to play, 49-47. That's Berkman for Trinity. Bounces down low, posting up Harris. Harris hooks it up, no, and what a great rebound by Houston. Well, that was a man rebound right there.
That's a man rebound there, cousin.
Mitchell. Into the paint, throws it up, no. What a great rebound backside. Shot won't go there for Henry Clay on a good effort there by Crizell Mitchell. 6:25, King into the lane. King cut off, spinning, little fadeaway, rolls off, rebounded by Mitchell. That is Justin Mitchell. You got to get your Mitchell straight. Here's Ridgway stopping for 15, in and out, rebounded by Harris. As a man rebound there by Harris.
Both these teams are battling. See who comes out ahead here with the early lead in the second half.
And tapped up and in on the miss by Harris.
6 minutes to go.
And we're tied.
What time do you bring in Tisdale? They're bringing Price in for Henry Clay for some scoring, and then you see
Tisdale get up off. That's why Daniel called that timeout, to get Isaiah back in the ball game. So 5:54 to play. We're tied at 49 all here.
What a competition we got.
We knew this would be a good one on paper. A lot of times they aren't played on paper. They're played on hardwood. But, the thing about it is on paper look like two of the best teams in the state, and they're playing like two of the best teams. 49 all. Both teams very deep. Both teams well coached. And both teams on a mission this year. It looks like, of course, Trinity has a lot of success over there in the athletics with 23 state football championships and 23 titles, and also a ton of golf championships and swimming. I mean, Trinity wins a lot of, and of course Henry Clay, a school that's got rich athletic tradition over there.
Yeah, both of these teams aren't new to the scene. They've been here a while. They both have tremendous tradition in sports, and man, it's just an honor and privilege to get here, see this tonight. Such a great game, 49 all. I mean, if you love basketball, being out here tonight to see this game, it's just awesome.
Enjoy working with you, Coach DeForest. Thank you for sitting in. You're the Iron Man tonight. I've called 2 games, but I think you've done all 4 of the quarters, haven't you?
I've done 4.
You're Iron Man.
I'm a little addicted. I love basketball.
I know you do. We're glad you do. 49 all. Tisdale back in there, the superstar for Henry Clay. He's got 15 points, but he's been on the bench for about a quarter total. Houston double team. Jordan back to Tisdale. Tisdale with King on him. Isaiah Tisdale. Left side, Tisdale to the basket. Little floater, and throws it up and draws the foul. But, you got to be careful if you're Isaiah, because those Trinity guys know you have 4 fouls, and there's going to be 2 or 3 of them that are ready to take a charge and do the flop or whatever they need to do to get that 5th foul on you.
They are, and Trinity, they all know that, and you can expect whoever he's matched up on. I mean, I expect he might be guarding maybe someone that doesn't like to dribble it as much, that maybe is a shooter. He might be matched up with number 20 perhaps on defense, because they're going to go at him. If he's matched up with one of the King boys, they're going to be attacking him off the dribble. And you're right, he has to be smart, and you trust him at this point to make the smart play, and he knocks a free throw in.
51-49, Tisdale with 16 to lead everybody, averages 18. And been saddled with those for the foul trouble. He's set out probably about a quarter of this game, hasn't he, with foul trouble?
At least, yeah. And they're going to try to go at him.
King working on Price. Loops it back out to Lucas Berkman. Down to Harris on Houston. Harris spins, hooks, and got it. Yeah, Harris is seeming like he's fallen in love with this battle with Houston here,
Man, 2 great post players. That's just a nice jump hook to the middle.
Houston out front. King's got it. King's got a bust out with Tisdale back. King knows that, goes over to his teammate and laid up and in by Schmidt.
Smart play by Tisdale not to really challenge that. He didn't want to pick up his 5th.
Ridgway. 4:46 to play, 53-51. Trinity leading Henry Clay. Winner gets Lexington Catholic. Final 4 tomorrow night. Bryan Station Dunbar play at 7:30. Tisdale hangs, and it rolls in for him. He was going back like he was going to try to tip it back up and in, but Isaiah said, okay, roll in. He's got his average now of 18.
Nice touch there. Just a soft shooter's touch.
53 all. Henry Clay Trinity. It is a Donnybrook here tonight. Here's Berkman lined up a deep 3, and that's a banks off. No good. Didn't even get the rim. And here comes Clay with a chance to take the lead back with 4:15 to play. Tisdale, and he is going to be bodied up, and Schmidt was hoping he'd get a call there, but I think they're going to call that one on Schmidt. No, they called on Berkman. That's 4 on Lucas. Tisdale back to the line for the bonus. Tisdale, all things you talk about, his rebounding, his great athleticism, his scoring, his range. He shoots 80+% from the free throw line.
Yeah, it's no accident. They're already in the bonus, and he's attacking the basket. He's came in and really made a big difference for Henry Clay here offensively, getting to the line. I mean, just
rolls it in.
His impact, as soon as he subbed in, he's already been to the free throw line. He's attacking. He made a post-entry pass. He's ready to play to finish this game and help his team win.
He knocks down his free throw. He's got 20 points. It was short. He's got 19. 54-53. Henry Clay by 1, leading Trinity. 4:08 to play. Gary Ball, Coach Lee DeForest, William Warfield, and Emma Eiler, our videographer, here tonight. The quarterfinals of the Catholic tournament. There's King with a lay-in. Jacob King, strong move to the basket.
What an amazing move. He did a step over like he was going middle and then spun off and went baseline.
Gets a steal there, goes in on Tisdale, hangs and scores again because he knew Tisdale couldn't do anything.
He did. Nice play by King. Again, it's a battle of hearts, a battle of wills. King is a tremendous, tremendous competitor. You can see him getting his team fired up. And I expect Tisdale to come out of this timeout and do the same. Although I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Brown goes immediately back in to Houston to set something else up. And then they have to get some stops down here on the defensive end.
It'll be Dunbar, Bryan Station in the first semifinal game. So we know one Lexington team will be in the championship game Wednesday night here at the Buter Gym. Lexington Catholic will play the winner here. Henry Clay, who's led by as many as 10, 12 points in this game. Tisdale's gotten some foul trouble, Coach. That's saddled him to the bench for several minutes. But right now it's still anybody's game with King just laying it in for Trinity, putting him up 57-54.
Yeah, both teams super competitive. I love watching King and Tisdale. Like I said, if you love basketball, this is the place to be. This is a fantastic tournament. I just want to see the moves these coaches make. I guess that's part of the reason I'm broadcasting instead of coaching as a head coach, because you always learn something from the great coaches in this tournament. And, it's just like I said, it's an honor to be here. I can't wait to see what little adjustments, who Trinity decides to attack with on offense, and same thing with Henry Clay. I think both teams will stay in man-to-man as we finish up here 3 minutes and 37 seconds. Trinity down 3.
57-54, 3:37 to play. Henry Clay's led really most of this game. If you did minutes, they would probably led about 25 minutes of this game. But Trinity's got the lead right now when it counts with 3:28 to play. Mitchell. Over goes Tisdale's 3, bullseye. Tisdale with 22 points, and he ties it up at 57 with 3:18 to play. That's a big-time shot there.
Big-time shot by a big-time player. I mean, like I said, King and Tisdale, that's who we expected to try to take over the game, and Tisdale's done his job. Now let's see coming out of this timeout who the answer is for Trinity. But nice play there by Coach Brown. They like that UCLA stuff. They run that pretty often, and got a great look out of it.
It's been a great tournament here at the Buter Gymnasium, Lexington Catholic Traditional Bank Tournament. Thanks to the Traditional Bank folks, 10-year commitment. We talked to some of their folks at halftime of the Lexington Catholic game. One of the vice presidents, I believe it was Chris Chaffee, who we talked to, and he told us about the great things going on at Traditional Bank. 3:11 to play in this one, Coach. 3 minutes, 11 seconds. We're tied again at 57 all.
Yeah, and I think Trinity is going to go down, here and attack with their big gun, attack with King. Although they might try to see who Tisdale's guarding and maybe set a play up for him. But I think, I think you go with as they're trying to do here off a horn set, flare screen for King, and isolate into side pick and roll here with King.
Stopping left side, cut off. Harris has it. Back to Brendan King, back to Jacob. 2:54 to play, tied at 57. Trinity battling Henry Clay for the right to go to the Final Four tomorrow night to join Dunbar, Bryan Station, Lexington Catholic. Harris has got it left side. LJ, the junior, hands it back to King, back to Harris, looking for Schmidt. Now the Harris working on Houston. Back to King with 2 minutes and 32 seconds to go in regulation, 57-57. Trinity and Henry Clay. Goes to King, up top to Jacob. Into the paint. Jacob hanging up in the air. Short. Great rebound by Mitchell. Ball on the floor. Diving for it. Schmidt. And what a great effort there by Schmidt. They get it down low. We're going to have a reaching foul. That's just a superior effort by Gabe Schmidt of Trinity of going after that basketball.
Yeah, both teams are fighting the way they did. I don't know if you remember that play in the first half where they fought for the basketball from one end of the court all the way to the other end, almost the volleyball line on the other end, and you had the same thing there. It's just, you don't really call it luck. It's a matter of effort, but both teams are putting in the effort. It's just who's making these plays late. And
you know, this game has the feel of a state tournament game, doesn't it?
It really does, because you have both teams playing at such a high level and making such smart plays late.
Free throw knocked down by David Burton.
And just to add on to that, Tisdale was matched up with Burton there late, but he switched back because he realized that's a post player and he didn't want to get his 5th foul, and that whole scrum started there. But Tisdale's such a smart player.
But that was Schmidt going after that basketball. That was impressive. The way he dove for that ball and tapped it to his teammate to make sure Henry Clay didn't get possession. That's just a kid wanting it, you know?
That is, and being able to make the play, not just diving on the floor, popcorn hustle, as Kerry Stovall used to say, diving on the floor for no reason to get claps. He dove on the floor for a purpose to save the ball, and he did it.
Price back in there. He can shoot the 3. Remember, he knocked down 3 of them in the first half for Clay. He's got the ball. Angling on King.
And to deny Tisdale. Smart.
59-57. They give it to Tisdale, working on Brendan King with 1:55 to play, and Trinity up by 2, 59-57. Bryan Station Dunbar play tomorrow night at 7:30 in the first semifinal game. Lexington Catholic plays the winner here in the second at 9. Tisdale ball block. What a great block by King.
Well, they got the shot they wanted, maybe not the finish that they wanted there. Tisdale may be a little reluctant to pick up that charge foul. Maybe didn't turn his head in there as much as he should have.
Ball lay-in miss there by Harris, so Henry Clay catches a big break. That's point-blank miss there by Harris. Should have went ahead and dunked it if he can dunk. Tisdale, minute 15. Henry Clay needs a field goal or a 3 to take the lead. They go over to Leander Ridgeway. He's working on Schmidt, out to Houston, over to Mitchell. Mitchell, strong move to the basket. He hangs, it rolls out of there and rebounded by Harris. A minute to go in the ball game, 59-57. And boy, Mitchell's wondering how in the world that didn't go, you know. Boy, Daniel Brown really upset.
Well, that take was a fantastic drive. You just have to finish it. Trinity rotated over to take the charge. It ended up being a no call, which I really don't mind because there wasn't contact on the play. Trinity's player fell over early to avoid the contact, and it ended up working out because Henry Clay's player was a little worried about falling down on him. You know, I've seen that called sometimes where players flop, but in this case, they're deciding to let the players make plays. And it's amazing when you get into these situations how many two-footers, these super talented players, they get in there and they miss the little ones that make the big difference in the game. Like Trinity missed down here. A kid had a chance for a dunk or a layup. He missed it. And then on the other end, you had Mitchell doing the same. It's just they want to make it so bad that they put a little extra on it. And a lot of times you just have to go into that rhythm. Just go into what you normally do. If you dunk it or if you lay it up, just do what you normally do and don't think about it. But that's easier said than done when you're dealing with high school students. So.
Henry Clay came in, coach, 10-1 on the season. Only one loss. I believe it was Owen County who knocked him off, who's got that really talented player that's one of the – and Trinity, as I said, they came in with only one loss on the season. When you look at Louisville Trinity, they came in 10-1, but their only loss is to a Tennessee team. They have not lost to a Kentucky team this year, and Henry Clay trying to be the first to do that. 57 seconds. 59-50. Almost a steal there, but King's got it. Almost a steal. King kicks it way out to Schmidt. 50 seconds to play. Trinity 59, Henry Clay 57.
They're going to hold it till you foul them. It's going to be a free throw battle. I don't really think they're going to turn it over here against this pressure.
Simpson to Schmidt. Good ball handlers there for Trinity. Schmidt, he's a senior. Jacob King's a junior. Over to Brendan King. They might want to foul him, and that's what they do. They foul Brendan King. I'm not sure that was the right guy to foul because when I look down here after they fouled him, he's shooting 100% from the line.
Well, if it's
12 for 12.
If it's possible to jinx a player, maybe you just did. Going into overtime would be exciting with these two great teams, but Trinity has control. They did exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to get to the line and run some time off. They're a tough team to press because they face pressure all year long and they have such excellent guard play.
Brendan King and the bonus, and he still hasn't missed.
Yeah, he's a heck of a shooter.
Got
now,
a good stroke.
On the other end, I think it's going to be a high ball screen for Tisdale to try to get to the basket. You're down 2 possessions, but you still have enough time. If you're down 4 points, I'm counting this as in. But, yeah, so they substitute, they get the matchups they want. I'd be surprised. I think it's going to be Tisdale coming off a high ball screen, trying to create some action into the lane.
And I'm not sure what the officials called. They going to make them take it back in for some reason. Coach Brown up, Coach Szabo up. 27 seconds. A lot of time if you're Henry Clay, Coach. You're down 4, but you got 27 seconds left.
Oh, yeah, and you've got Tisdale. Get to the basket, try to get a layup, because Trinity's trying not to foul here.
Tisdale right side, open, bounces down to Houston. He's trying to go to Mitchell, back door, knocked away by Harris. There's a battle for it, jump ball called. And let's see, the possession arrow will give it back to Henry Clay, and Daniel Brown talking to his ball club. Coach Szabo thought his player was fouled. 18.8, 61-57. Trinity by 4. Henry Clay, they get it to Tisdale. He's open, fakes the 3, backs it back out, goes out to Price. He launches a long 3, off the iron, no. Trinity lets it go out of bounds with 11.6. I'm not sure Daniel Brown didn't like something there that Tisdale did. He's all over him.
Well, I think he wanted him to lean into that. You got the guy to jump on the three-pointer, okay? Take a step across, lean into it, and go up and throw it up. Maybe you get 3 free throws, but it's tough to do that in the spur of the moment unless you've really practiced that as a player.
Trinity up 4 in the ball, and Schmidt's going to be fouled quickly by Leander Ridgway. And that will send Schmidt, the thing about Szabo, like you said, he's an outstanding coach. He knows to get the ball in the hands of the guys that can shoot free throws, and Schmidt's an 83%. They fouled Brendan King, who was 100%, still 100%. And even Jacob King, who's 87%, is in there as well.
That helps out coaches, and again, that's probably why I'm a broadcaster. I don't think I ever had anybody that shoot free throws at that clip, especially 3 players. It's got to be comforting to know, hey, at the late games, I can get it to any one of 3 guys that are ball handlers, and we're going to knock free throws in. I can set up my defense, do what I want to do. As you see Tisdale back in.
Schmidt got them both. 63-57.
We're in a 2-3 zone now instead of guarding them man-to-man.
Tisdale a long 3 off the iron now. Stuck back up and in by Mitchell, and Coach Brown's going to get a quick timeout with 1.6, 63-59. Trinity, looks like Trinity's going to hold on with the 4-point lead and 1.6, but I tell you what a ball game here tonight. Henry Clay came to play. I think the difference in this game was when Tisdale picked up that 4th foul.
Yeah, and you hate that. You hate to talk about that because there's so many other outstanding plays and players in the game. But you do know he is one of the top players in the state of Kentucky. And when you take him out of a game for foul reasons, it changes Henry Clay's makeup. Obviously, they're not the same team. They don't have their best player in. It's not difficult to figure that out. And it sort of impacted him, and I know Coach Brown, I hope he doesn't beat himself up too much because you're like, when's the right time to bring him in? You don't want him to foul out, and he's not going to foul out of this game, but he doesn't have the impact that he could have had in this game if he had not gotten foul trouble. And I know he realizes that as a player, and you could see how evenly matched these 2 teams are. It could have went either way.
But back to the fouls. Okay, you mentioned the block charge, the toughest call in basketball. A couple of them were those type of deals, and one of them, the kind of little reaching foul, the ticky-tack foul. Tisdale knew he should not have committed that foul.
Yeah, he did. The one I had a question on is he had back-to-back charge calls. Maybe the one was where the man was set. I don't know about the other one where they called an offensive push-off with his off arm.
Right.
I couldn't see it from here. Obviously, the official had a good view of that, but that ended up being – not the difference in the game. You have to still go out and win the game, but of course that impacted Henry Clay's efficiency on offense, and you have to have a player that can score when you face a team as good defensively as Trinity is. And both teams competed, could have went either way.
Sets up the semifinals tomorrow night. We'll have both of them. We'll have all the games tomorrow, but I'll be calling the 2 semifinal games at 7:30, Station Dunbar. Your quick thoughts on that Station Dunbar matchup?
2 of the best teams in Lexington.
Yeah. I mean, great athletes everywhere.
Yeah, it's going to be
Timmy
exciting.
Dunn.
Yeah, Timmy Dunn. You're going to have Dre Davis matched up, and then on the other end, you've got the great players of Dunbar. I'm excited. Those are some of the best players in the state, best players in the city, and you're going to be going at it here tomorrow night.
And then your boy Johnson will need to be filling it up tomorrow night for Catholic as they'll take on this Trinity team, and we know how good Trinity is after they knocked off this really good Henry Clay team, 63-59.
Trinity's unbelievable. King is a tremendous competitor, and they balance him out with some other shooters. But you know what I'm excited about? you know, I don't want to put any pressure, but Luke lives for these kinds of games.
Yes, he does.
You know, anytime we have to play somebody that competitively is supposed to be better on paper, Luke always comes to play. So it's going to be an exciting matchup, and not only Luke but the rest of his teammates, Peter, and I'm excited to see Catholic.
We'll take a break, come back, some final numbers, and wrap things up here. The final 63-59. Trinity knocks off Henry Clay. Lexington Catholic tonight earlier won over Covington Holy Cross 56-51. We'll be back and wrap things up here on Night Vision and PrepSpin. Back here to wrap it up with Coach Lee DeForest, Gary Ball, and thanks for checking out the broadcast tonight. Bryan Station won earlier in a tough one over Cordia, then Dunbar. What a battle Dunbar had too, Coach, but they pulled it out. You know, John Hardin's a good ball club, but Dunbar showed that just a little bit too much fire. That score really not indicative of what a tight game that was, really.
Yeah, they were able to pull it out at the end. Any of these teams, when you get into a tournament and you get to the Final Four, Final Eight, all the teams are good teams. And if you get down by 6, 8, 9 points with 2 or 3 minutes left in the game,
yep,
you have no choice at that point but to try to increase the tempo, press, turn the other team over. But you have to remember, the other team is good because they don't turn it over.
That's
so,
right.
And it's just difficult. You can turn a 9-point game into a 15, 18-point game, but that's not indicative of the competition throughout the quarters.
And, of course, Lexington Catholic beat Holy Cross 56-51, and Trinity holds off Henry Clay 63-59. So the Final Four tomorrow night, semifinals at 7:30 to be Bryan Station against Lexington Paul Dunbar, and at 9 o'clock Lexington Catholic will take on this very good Louisville Trinity team. Thanks, Coach DeForest. Look forward to good luck tomorrow in your game. You actually got a game to play tomorrow at 2
I'm excited
2
against
o'clock.
a tough Georgia team. They're very talented. I'm looking forward to seeing my guys out there on the hardwood. Just watching basketball today just gets you so excited, and I appreciate you guys having me out here. It's been a pleasure to work with you.
Thank you,
just
Coach.
a legend. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach. And for William Warfield as well and Emma Eiler, this is Gary Ball. The semifinals tomorrow night, 7:30. It'll be Bryan Station Dunbar. All Lexington battle in that one. And Lexington Catholic, the host school, will take on Trinity in the 9 o'clock affair. We'll have all those games tomorrow live on PrepSpin and HD. Thanks for watching on Night Vision and PrepSpin. Gary Ball for Coach Lee DeForest and William Warfield. Have a great evening, everybody. Have a good game.